Hi, everybody. I'm Monica Karam, and I'm what am I? Trauma healing and intuition coach. And I'm here with Julia Tohme. Hi, Julia.
Hi, Monica. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you.
Good. Let's just say our titles. What's the title that you have nowadays?
I'm a self-love coach. I have
Okay,
the
cool.
tattooed here. It's a good
Oh,
reminder.
nice. Okay, cool. So today we're just gonna wing it, as we said, but we want to have this conversation, which I've been wanting to have for a long time. And we're just gonna talk about our journey to what? Self-love, loving our bodies, loving our self. And you know what? I think it's acceptance of ourself.
Yeah, I actually wanted to say the same word. I think it's the acceptance.
So maybe you want to start and tell us a little bit about your journey, what things have you struggled with in life. And I know now you're going through a difficult period in life. You just went through divorce and stuff. So I'm just going to sit here. I want to hear how you overcame a lot of your battles. I don't know if it's a battle.
Struggles,
It
maybe.
used to be a battle and I think a fight, but now it's like a more peaceful
Yeah.
journey.
I actually, all my life, had problem with weight since I was young. Even my family, like we are all the big family. So my dad passed away, was big. My mom was big. My sister, my siblings, my both brothers are not. But so weight was always an issue, especially in our upbringing in Lebanon. The mindset of the people, like, oh, you should fit in a box. You should be this size, and that's it. If you're not there, you're not a good person, or you're not fit in the social.
That's it. You don't fit into, if you don't look a certain way and act a certain way, you don't fit in.
No.
And
And
all we want to
sadly,
do is fit in, right? Because it's our culture, right?
exactly. So yeah, weight was always an issue. At age of 18, when my dad passed away, uh, I realized that the weight, not as a physical weight, but as being healthy, was the biggest concern for him. And he passed away early. He was only 52 years old.
Can I ask a
So,
question? Your dad passed away from what?
heart attack. But it's not really heart attack, heart issues, let's say.
Heart issues. And he was healthy.
No, he was not healthy.
He wasn't healthy.
No, he was overweight. And the thing that after being overweight most of his life, he did kind of a weight loss, a huge weight loss. But what the doctor said, because even the heart is a muscle,
It
so
took
he
a toll on his,
yeah, and his heart
couldn't take it.
muscle couldn't take it. It wasn't like
See?
holding enough.
And
So
how was he emotionally? Was he a person that expressed
very
himself?
emotional, very
Very
emotional. He would
emotional. This is
cry
emotional.
easily. He's not
So
like
he
this.
probably stuffed things in and kept things in.
Yeah, but yeah, for him also was the big uh, experiences in his life when he lost his daughter, my sister, who passed away. So that was like a breaking point of going downward health wise and emotional. I wouldn't even imagine it. Losing a child, it's the most difficult. We're not wired for that. We are
No,
wired
no.
that at some point our parents will pass away, but we're not wired that our kids
And your sibling. So that
also.
must have taken a big toll on you. How did it affect? I mean, how did it affect you? But for sure, it affected you emotionally. But how did you cope with the grief?
Of my father or my sister.
Either one, like at
Yeah,
this rate.
both
Yeah.
of them. That wasn't an easy journey. It's but my father's grief was positive because I saw that the weight is really like complication in your health. So at the age of 18, I made a huge breakthrough. I lost like 40 pounds, going to the gym, went crazy just for the purpose of being healthy, not the purpose of sitting in looking good.
That's the key.
Yeah, it wasn't, that was my deepest why. And I did it again after somewhere around my divorce. also that was the purpose, because just to fit in or just purpose to be sexy or just to, that's not a deep why, that's not well rooted. But when you have a why that my dad was not there when I got married, he did not walk me the aisle, I want to be there for my girls, I want to see my grandkids, I want to be there, I don't want to live a short life. So that's my deepest why today. Like, I want to take care of myself. I honestly, I'm not fit in, I'm not in the whatever BMI perfect, but I have a stunning
Hell, who
stamina.
gives them this, like, who says that is the weight that people should be? It's where you feel
Exactly.
the best.
And honestly, I'm not competing or comparing or anything, but if I'm around any group of people, the stamina I have, the energy that I get, nothing compared to anybody around me. Because I do work out daily, even though in the deepest, most difficult times I've been through the divorce and my mind taking me in the depression or whatever, I still made up my mind that I'm going to show up for me, for my health. So the purpose of the weight loss is really my stamina, my energy. That's what I care about the most. How do I look like? That's a plus.
It's very important. And your emotional health when you were going through any of this. So we all know, I mean, don't know if everybody knows that health, weight, and stuff has two components. One is the physical. I don't know if it's two components. There's the food, there's the emotional, and there is the physical, and there's the soul. So
Yeah.
maybe four.
I love that how you say it, because most of the people, if you go to a professional like a PT, personal trainer, blah, 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 you're going to divide it 80% what you eat, 20% what you work out. This is a bullshit theory. I would say 80% what you're feeling, what's your worth, you're going through, and then divide those 10-10 workout and what you're eating.
Because a lot of the time, I think the weight, I mean, I know from my own journey, the weight is just a byproduct of where you're at and how you're feeling. So if you haven't processed a lot of your emotions and you have food as your coping mechanism, because as a kid, this was your coping mechanism. Oh, she's crying. Let's give her sugar.
Yeah, I love that.
Okay, you'll feel better after you eat sugar. So what happens is that becomes your comfort, your safety, your security, because that's what you learned, right? That, okay, she's highly sensitive, very emotional. We don't want to deal with this emotional stuff. So let's just calm her down, give her sugar.
Give her a treat.
I don't know, put her on the TV or whatever it is that a parent does to shut the child down, because they've never dealt with their emotional trauma.
Yeah, they didn't have tools. Like, for them,
no one had tools. None of us had tools. So sugar and all this stuff became our tool, because this is what we associate as a kid. How did we feel loved and comforted?
And food. Honestly, it's not only about sugar. The whole in our culture, I'm not sure all cultures.
You know, we're talking about our culture, the Lebanese culture. We're not talking about anyone. Yeah. This is what we're specialized in.
Lebanese culture, every event, every bond with the family, everything turn around food. You're going to your grandma, come eat. No, I'm full. I'm not hungry. Oh no, you have to eat. And then you didn't finish your plate. No, you have to finish all your food. Like, there's no more alarm system that, okay, there's an end, there is there's like you
and have. And they're offended if you don't eat.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Like, you don't love us, you haven't eaten your food, we cooked this, we went over, Yeah. So there is a connection as children, how we self-soothed, because none of us were taught to self-soothe. So we're going through something, we're struggling, we're like, I can't deal with these emotions. They can't deal with these emotions. So what am I going to do? I'm going to stuff it in. And I'm going to stuff it in, and I'm going to stuff it in. And how am I going to stuff it in? How am I going to numb this pain? Let's go get the food.
It turns in different, like, let's say adults, they might go into alcohol or into drugs.
It's an addiction. Any of our addictions, it can be work.
Exactly. Yes.
I was a
Especially,
workaholic for a very long time. Now it's getting easier. But it's that those heavy emotions that we haven't been able, we've never been taught. This is something I'm so adamant about teaching. It has to be in schools. Like kids learn all this kind of stuff. We don't learn how to eat well. Like a lot of us are not trained. I'm to this day, I struggle with food and with healthy living
yes.
because it must be something that we learn how to nurture ourselves.
You know, it's really not rocket science how to eat, but I find because we're 80% of our body is water. So what we really need is liquids. That's what we need
I should drink
way
some water.
more than the food. But we don't drink enough water. You have water. I have water.
I'm getting better, by the way. It's the last few days I have started to drink more water, and not for anyone else, for myself.
For you. That's the most important. Because water is like the thing that there's two, the sugar and the salt. Most of the people are aware if you eat a bag of chips, you're thirsty. So you have like kind of dehydration and then you go drink water. But the sugar has the same exact effect. But I don't know why when we have sugar, instead of feeling that thirsty, and we are really thirsty, we go for more sugar instead.
I think it's all habits.
But with the sugar, maybe it's more addictive, so it goes more sugar.
Maybe.
It's
Definitely more addicted.
But this is it, like those two, the Y, and the two, actually, they're the three whites, I would call them, the flour, sugar, and salt. So those, the more you can control them by having more liquid, like vegetables, fruits, they're packed with fluids.
You know, the word control. So there's certain things I've discovered. Pushing ourselves, goals, all these are harsh on our bodies.
Yeah.
You know, like a goal, I mean, I'm the goal person. Like I've always been someone who works on goals. Like, okay, I want to achieve something for. It's always been extrinsic for a certain purpose, but it's never been consistent. I achieve, like the times I've really lost weight, and I've really lost weight, is when I wanted to have a baby and I wanted my body to be fit so I could conceive. So that was an extrinsic goal and temporary. And I did it and I achieved. And then I went downhill afterwards. And another time, another extrinsic goal was after having my twins, I didn't want to look like a frumpy mom. You know, like, well, so I was like, okay, I'm going to do this so I can look cool. But it was always extrinsic, outside of myself, like for others. Yeah. Like the goal was for my kids to have kids, to, I don't know, it's the why now for me is for myself.
Absolutely.
And I'm getting there emotionally where I've now accepted myself as being, I love myself. Because I spent a lot of time in my life thinking there's something wrong with me. I'm not good enough. I need to fit into this box and that box, and I need to look a certain way, and I need to be a certain way. And now I'm like, okay. But it's very tough when you spend all your life, or let's say most of my life, about others, you know? And now it's like for myself.
Yes, yeah.
Like it
Because
doesn't
also
feel
it's
like
in
a
our
why.
culture.
It
In our
doesn't
culture
feel
to
like a
be
why.
absolutely to be a people pleaser. That's a huge part of our culture. That's why you cook. That's why you serve others. That's why you plan events. It's always for others, always for others. But what about us? What about what we're feeling, what we're living?
So it's very strange for me. I'm at this place now where it's like many changes have happened in my life, and I'm like, what do I want? not for my kids, not for my parents, not for, and looking after yourself seems like this big mountain, even though I've been working on myself, on loving myself, giving myself the emotional needs, because we've pushed ourselves. I have pushed myself to burn out and break down. I don't want to push myself. What I want to do now is lovingly work with my body. I don't want a toxic relationship with my body and
yeah, it's most of the
my
time
health.
self-sabotaging. When we do it wrong, we do stuff, it's self-sabotaging. It's like,
but also when we go overboard trying to do right. So when we start going to the gym and fanatically, when our body doesn't even like that type of exercise, you're basically forcing your child, if you want to call it, like imagine you have a relationship with your body. You're telling this body, move it, like you're forcing your child to do something. Instead of us forcing, we need to dance with our body. We're like, what works? Do you like to dance? Is that something that feels good for your body? Instead of going, you know what, you're going to go regimentedly into whatever you don't like. So it is a journey in finding out, I don't know, this is my opinion. This is from what I see in my life. Finding your joy in movement. And also finding the foods that feel good. Because now we're talking about being conscious. Because now we've done, I mean, in my life, I've done a lot of the emotional work. And I feel that I love my body now.
That's the most important.
And I don't want to treat it badly anymore.
No.
But I'm still not at that stage where I know it's steps, I'm taking them, where I'm a great caregiver for my body.
I would like to share with you a big aha moment.
And I know you are a great caregiver to your body. So
yeah, but I want to tell you why. My biggest aha moment was in 2018. I won a free coaching session, like on the Instagram. It was fun. It was only one session, but just she hit the spot on. She goes, everything I was talking, of course, I blame, excuse, that's our mindset, victim mindset.
For
then
sure.
she goes, what if I tell you that you have a new baby born? He's like, yes. She's crying. Would you take care of her? I said, of course. She wants food. Would you give her food? Yes. I was like, what if this baby, her name is Julia? I was like, okay. So she's talking about me. Like I did breastfed my kids for years. I did went all in for my family. I did, but I never did the shit for me. This baby was crying in attention, crying for someone to take care of her, but I did nothing. It was just putting stuff and like suppressing whatever she's feeling. So when I felt like, oh, I have responsibility of this baby, I have to take care of her. That's when my turning point of, for me, self-love and being happy, me, is more important than anybody around me, because that's how I will make them happy. If I'm not happy, whatever I'm performing, even if I'm going all the way for them, but I'm coming from an empty cup. But when I'm coming from,
many of us have come from an empty cup for a very long time.
Yes. So if we're not making sure, that's why now it's been really at least 2 years, my morning routine are a non-negotiable. I'm not going to say it's the same performance. Not the same performance way, like some days my journal will be putting 3 goals and close my journal and that's it. Some days my journal is about 30, 40 minutes of introspection, of asking questions, what I'm doing good, what I'm doing bad, who am I forgiving today, what I'm grateful for, every whole going deep. But the day that I do only 2 minutes, not even 5 minutes, putting my goals of the day, I showed up. That's what I'm able to do, but I showed up.
That's the key, the showing up.
Yes. The same thing for the workout. Like today, I went all in crazy, did the whole full body workout. Some days I'm going to go 20 minutes, barely walking in place.
But every time you're doing the workout, it's something that you feel. I know you don't always feel like exercise, but
no,
it is,
I never feel like
feel
exercising.
like
It's not like something I would love, I would tell you. But what I love is the after feeling.
Of course, the
That's
after
what I'm
feeling is always
addicted
the
to.
best.
Yes, that's what I'm addicted to, because I will push myself. I will go to the gym, but when I'm coming back, I don't have the stress. I don't have the overthinking. I'm in my element. I trained my brain to push. Like, I started recently going to the gym. It's been months and a half. The first day I went on something called the Step Master. Like, you go on steps.
Yes, I know the stuff.
I couldn't even do it 5 minutes. I was like, I've been training for 2 years. I cannot do it for 5 minutes. It's incredibly difficult.
Okay, so when you couldn't do it for 5 minutes, do you think it was because there was a lot of emotional stuff that day or going through something?
I think it was difficult. It's really difficult. Like, physically, I'm not fit for it. But I said, okay, Julia, just do 3 minutes today. And day
And when
in,
you
day out, day
started,
in. Yeah. Today I just did 30 minutes, just to let you know.
okay, 30 minutes.
And now, like, also, it's not about the purpose to compare, but when I went to this gym, usually people would do like 15, 20 minutes on the Step Master. I would like look at them, oh my God, like, how can they make it? I'm not even able to do 2 minutes. Today, I'm the only one who makes 30 minutes. Everybody
So
moves out.
it's a competition, kind of, between you, yourself, and yourself.
Exactly. That's it. So I went from 2-3 minutes to 30 minutes, but it took
And
me a month and a half.
why is still
Me competing with me yesterday. That's my only competition.
competing with you for
Best thing that I can perform in my life, whatever. Like,
so
it's
the best version of yourself,
best
basically.
version of myself. That's it.
In all aspects, it's what you're doing.
Yes.
Like, I think, I don't know, this is my opinion, the journey in life is about chiseling through and being the best. I think the first, I don't know, 30 years of our life, it's all programming and who we are, what we're taught, schooling, check, been there, done
Education,
that,
married,
yeah, marrying and stuff. And
yeah,
then the second part depends on.
But are you going to leave before you go?
Yeah, but I don't know if everybody goes through this breaking point at some point, something happening in their life that makes them do the shift, or I don't know if you can actually do the shift just by, okay, nothing's happened that's really serious, and I've decided I'm gonna make that effort. I don't know. What do you think? I know that in my life, it was a divorce, a moving to a new country, lots of shedding and breakdown in order to break through and do the work. I didn't want to stay a victim.
Yeah.
So I started doing the work. The work is not easy, but I don't think I would have done it. I'll be honest, if I hadn't been forced to, I don't think, I mean, I don't know, maybe God had a different plan and something else would have happened and I would have, but I think that breakdown started the journey for me.
Yeah, it's always like, for me, I told you at 18, the death of my dad was turning point. Like, I have to take care of my body or I'm gonna die. That's it. That's in my head. When at the age of, I don't even, in 2018.
So you stayed healthy until what age?
Oh, it's 7 years. I stayed
healthy. You lasted 7 years. Okay, that's
yeah,
good.
7 years I was maintaining. It was perfect. Then when I got married, kids, blah blah blah. That's with every kid's extra 10 pounds.
And that's it. I think I maintained my health, weight, and everything until I got married, and then after each kid, and then the lifestyle.
Yeah.
As a married person, it's a different lifestyle. The way the person eats, you start joining them.
But in 2018 wasn't the divorce yet. The divorce happened
no.
after 2 years. It was the turning point of loving myself. It was that
So
I
2000,
couldn't
when
look.
did I meet you? I met you, you were much heavier than you are today. What
Yeah.
was the turning point then? What was the weight gain came from the children, or what do you think the weight came from?
Breastfeeding, children. My kids never went to daycare. I was all the time there for
The
them.
kids all the time, yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of triggers, a lot of really, I hated myself. Not like love is something, acceptance is something, but hating yourself is another story. Like I couldn't look at the mirror, though even I've heard it all my life, even it was my height weight, like the highest weight I was, all the people say, oh, you have a very beautiful face, you're cute, blah blah blah. Like I've heard it all, but I've never believed, never.
That's the key, right? Like I didn't believe it either. I was told the same thing, but okay. But I think you have an internal voice that says the total opposite sometimes, and also sometimes you've heard it from other people. So the louder voices sound a lot.
Yeah, like you're just gonna say they're telling you bullshit. Yeah, they've got like whatever compliment I have received, I would say, oh, that's bullshit. Like why?
But then the ones where you would hear the bullshit, you'd believe it.
Yes.
It's sad that we are able to believe the negative talk.
Because also the culture is all about comparing. It's those magazines, it's all Instagram, the perfect body, perfect shape, perfect everything. And like, oh, if this is the word, I'm way on another side. Like I'm not worthy. I'm not enough. I'm far from being normal.
And that there's something wrong that I can't get to that image. Yeah. So it's very sad. We should talk about this another time. But the topic about bullying and about children and how these kind of conversations really affect children, and how when they hear a parent or someone in their school or someone in their life telling them these kind of things, it is their talk when they grow up.
Yes.
And I don't know, I told you the story, but I was 11. I remember it very clearly. And this young girl who was 11 in my building, can you imagine? In Lebanon, this is. And every time she would see me, and I was a young girl that really didn't notice these things. I didn't speak about weight. I didn't like, it wasn't something that I ever considered. And this young girl would tell me, oh, Monica, you've gained weight today. Or every time she would see me come back from a trip, and I'm like 11 years old.
Yeah.
You've gained weight, you've lost weight, and lost weight equaled, wow. Gaining weight equaled, there's something wrong with you. So she's an 11-year-old kid talking about this kind of topics. Where would she have heard this? Of course, in her home.
Parents, of course. Like the first thing in public in Lebanon, if you see someone you're going to visit them, before even saying hi, how are you? How are you feeling? Oh, you gained weight. Oh, you lost weight. What the hell? Like, why is my weight is everything about your concern?
Who gives you the right to even talk about my weight? I've had a lot of conversations with people and have been doing a lot of healing on this topic, on how dare you talk about my weight? It is none of your business.
Your business, exactly.
Like, why? What gives you the right to talk about anybody's weight? Or what people are going through is their business. You think people don't know that they've gained weight? You think that people don't know that they're going through a lot? You need to point that out to them, like as if it's something that's like a secret, that human insulting you or telling you, whoa, you gained weight, means you're now gonna change your life because of it.
Yeah, I really don't get it. I don't know even what's their intention. Is it
there's no intention? I think it's a cruelty, in my opinion.
Yes. Me too. I think at some point, rules, whatever rules we have in the society, those should be created as
they need to change.
When you go bully someone, when you tell someone about their weight, like, did you even ask why I'm gained weight. Maybe I've been in bed for 3 months, going through depression.
Yes,
Nobody's
maybe I'm
listening to
going
me.
through grief and that's the only way I can cope. Maybe I'm struggling at home. Like maybe you think about what's going on underneath instead of seeing what's going on outside. Sorry, I get emotional. But it really pisses me off that people think it's okay
So,
to look at someone and say, you know what? Wow, you've gained a lot of weight. Maybe look deeper and say, how are you doing? Are you okay? Do you need support? Do you need any help in anything? I know you're grieving your parent, your whatever, and I understand that maybe food is what is helping you cope through single parenting. I don't know what all the stuff that I've been through in the last 9 years. So maybe you think deeper instead of on a superficial level and say, you know what, maybe going to the gym and eating healthy is going to help you. When you can't even get out of bed some days, because the emotional pain in your heart is so much stronger and you just need to rest because you've been on overdrive for years trying to make sure your kids are okay, your parent is okay, your I don't know, your work is okay, your finances are okay. You have so much going on in the internal that you're just trying to cope. And then somebody coming and hitting you with the blow of, you know what, you are a coach, you should be able to deal with all this. Really? Guess what? I
I'm
am dealing
human.
with all this. It's
Yeah.
good I'm not on drugs or on some other what's it
Maybe
called?
say thank you, I'm still alive.
Thank you, I'm still alive, and thank you that at least food has been there to support me through it all. So I just think this conversation needs to go deeper and look at people who are struggling. When you're addicted to something, because I see it every day, I work in addiction, it has nothing to do with the actual weight gain or the actual drug that you are taking. There is a deeper pain going on, and there is a numbness that you are trying to get through your day. And I see it every day. People are getting through it. It's in my own life, in your life. We all have something that we are going through. And okay, food has been my comfort during the times of this. And we are all working through our thing. So I would really, really appreciate it if people would stop giving a shit and giving their opinion on why you've gained weight and why you have become much bigger. Yes, I know. We all know. It's not like we're blind, but we're trying to get through whatever we have to get through. And
that's why I would go back to the 80% of the emotion, like the 10-10 food, and this is the solution, whatever. This is temporary, but if you don't deal with the 80% and use your tools during those days when you're not feeling well, how to get more awareness about your emotions, how to find different patterns to scratch those old patterns, old wiring of, because also why are you rewired? You said it before that it's because of our parents, but that's even
it's not even our parents, it's how the whole culture was raised on not dealing. I mean, it's not only our culture, most cultures, I see it in all kinds of cultures. We all have numbing coping mechanisms. In a lot of the European and other cultures, it's alcohol. Yeah. A lot of people numb their pain through alcohol.
Or
there's
drugs,
smoking, there's drugs, there's sex, there's work. We all have our different coping mechanisms. It's how you saw, what you saw, how you were soothed.
Yes.
So we're in a transition.
They restrict themselves from eating, which is
which is another thing, like anorexia. These are all body shaming things that they grew up with.
Yes.
So it's all about, in my opinion, looking at where the wound is. Because
most of the time it comes to two things. I am enough and I am worthy. Because we keep on pushing. I'm not enough. I'm not equal to this. I'm not fit in. I'm not. There's when you truthfully believe that you are enough and you are worthy right here, right now, without changing anything. It's just you're the perfect human being, living perfect moment right now. There's nothing you have to do.
You deserve to have the best in life. You deserve to take care of yourself.
And look at nature. We have dolphins, we have whales, they're huge, and you have snakes. So this is part of nature. So it's
and
okay.
Do you tell the fish you need to climb a tree? You don't say that, because their environment that fits them is the water.
Exactly.
So we're telling so many people that they need to fit into a certain box. And it's a very long journey to get to where to accept yourself and love yourself and feel worthy of your own company. Somebody asked me the other day, do you like yourself? I said, I love myself. She asked me, if you were in a room with yourself, would you really enjoy your own company? I'm like, for sure. Like, you have to love yourself, your personality, your look, for you, not for what other people think of you. It's just so important that I don't know, we talk about this topic. We teach people that I also think culturally people think it's okay to say these things.
Yeah,
I don't think they think there's anything wrong.
Yeah, because
and I don't think they understand how painful
because they're not
to a child or an adult to be spoken to like this.
By the way, for me, when I lost both times the weight that I had, when they complimented me, it didn't feel right. Though people would say, oh, now like you lost weight, you should be proud. It didn't feel right because it's like, but I'm the same exact person. I'm the sweet, loving, caring person that if I have extra 40 pounds, minus 20 pounds, whatever I'm in this spectrum of the weight, I'm still the same person that I'm going to show up. I'm going to ask about you. This is me.
Isn't it? That's also, that's an important topic, because I have been all kinds of weights. Like, I have trousers from, like, I don't know what to wear. And it has never, ever affected my personality or my self-worth or my self-esteem, whether I've been, I don't know, a size, 12 to, not gonna go to the size now, but you know what I mean? Like, there are people that their weight affects their personality. Why? But you're the same person you've always been. Okay, you might have some uncomfortable fitting into a pair of trousers, and I can tell you that is something that affects me now, because there are clothes I want to wear and I feel uncomfortable. That is one of my whys, but it's not for others. It's for myself and for my own health and fitness, because now I care about myself.
Absolutely. And another thing, one of the tools that for self-acceptance, it's the mirror talk, mirror work. Mirror work means that, like, I remember first time one of the coaches I was working with, she goes, look in the mirror and say, I'm beautiful. I cried like, what? Like, I looked in the mirror, I'm beautiful. I started weeping. Like, but it took a lot of time to now just stay naked fully in front of the mirror, seeing my saggy skin of giving birth, because I had
and not being upset about.
Wow, I love that. That was the reason I gave birth for 2 healthy kids. This is part. Those are like the cicatrices, like the what do you call them in English? Scars of the body.
Yes.
Yeah, scars that went through each step of my life. So I'm fine with that. I love myself fully.
You know, a few years ago, I was so shy and I needed to go on camera, right? Because, you know, when you want to be a motivational speaker and all this stuff, I remember having a coach. She made me go inside the bathroom. And she said, Monica, you're going to go sit in that bathroom in the middle of a restaurant, because the coaching session was in the middle of a restaurant. And she made me go inside and talk to myself in the mirror. I'm like, what? I can't do this. This is so embarrassing. What am I going to say to myself? I don't know what to say to myself. Like, I'm going to look in the mirror. How vain is this? And, you know, the whole self-sabotage story within my head. This was all because I had an important, again, it was extrinsic. I did it because I had an event coming up and I wanted women to be empowered because this event was important. I wasn't even the speaker, I was the event planner. But it meant so much to me to help those women that I overcame my fear and went on camera.
Wow.
So that these women could benefit.
Yes. Actually, I had very similar, because when I started working,
imagine that was the
coach,
reason,
yeah.
Instead of being like, and now I never look, I'm like, okay, but
You're comfortable with the camera.
I'm very comfortable because I'm like,
there's a message. It's not about you anymore. Same thing when my coach told me, like, she kept on, when are you going live? When are you gonna go on the camera? I don't know. And you see this tiny little tiny camera, which not even like a spider's tiny, it makes you think it's so horrific and scary and whatever. And she goes, what if another woman out there needs to hear your message? So it's not about, it's self, when she's, by the way, yeah, that was a aha moment. She told me, you're being selfish, keeping the message to yourself. I was like, what? Like, I'm a selfless person. Like, how you could tell me that I'm selfish? But she's right. If you have something inside you, it's selfishness when you leave it. You have to go spread it out.
It is the only reason I started doing camera, because I had so many messages and I never think, oh, what's my hair look like? I mean, okay, I do sometimes, but you know, but you know, and the best part is it's become so comfortable for me because I'm comfortable in my own skin, and I'm also comfortable because the message is very important for me. This topic we're talking about, even though I think it's important for someone to hear. If it helps just one person today,
yes,
I think we've done what we need to do. We have no other purpose here than making sure that whoever felt like we did can see us and how far we've come on our journey. And there's no competition here, but we still feel it. I mean, I still feel it. It is a work in progress for me. And I just want people to understand, first, if we want to summarize this conversation, one, stop being cruel to others. And you know what I think? The wound that we have inside is what we reflect on others. So if you're judging someone else for their appearance, for their looks, for their whatever, look deeper. It might be a wound you have that you haven't dealt with, and you're reflecting it on someone who doesn't need to hear that. And it hurts somebody else. You're probably hurting your own self, first of all.
And hurting someone.
And second of all, whatever it is you're going through emotionally, find whoever it is that will help you get through it, because it is like an emotional, it's tools, it's an emotional roller coaster.
I would like to mention like small tools, like you.
Yes, and I will mention some.
You do, like, for me, it's the meditation, it's journaling, it's breath work, just stopping every day for 2 minutes to be aware of, I'm breathing. I know how to, like, just breath work is so amazing. Like, it's just
for sure. So and for me, it's a lot of different things. For me, it's prayer. I do a lot of praying. I do a lot of grounding, just putting my feet down on the ground and just dropping my energy all the way down so I can be present in my body. And sometimes we're not present in our bodies. So a tool that I use, I tell everybody to use it. You know, I don't tell everybody, but you know, it's just imagine that your body is, you're not in your body, and just lift up and as if you're putting a cloak on. Because you'll feel the energy is dropping all the way down. So you feel like, oh, my energy, because sometimes we're very much in our minds and we don't feel things in our body. And for years, I didn't feel things in my body because sometimes trauma makes you leave your body. So it's only been a few years that I've been able to reconnect to my body and actually feel sensations. So it's very important. If you can just, it's very easy, just close your eyes. Imagine, I mean, try it, Julia, with me. You can see that you can feel the energy. It's like putting on a cloak, right? A clothes.
Yeah, clothes.
How you're pulling it down. It's really pulling all the way down to the ground. Simple things, a paper and a pen. I always tell people, journal.
Yeah.
Take that crap that you have in your mind, put it on a piece of paper, tear it up, throw it away. There's so many little things. Music, dancing.
Music, dancing, exactly.
So many things.
Connect to yourself, love yourself, see what you like.
And notice when your energy goes up and when your energy goes down. Sometimes you're with people. Like now, look, it's all spontaneous, our conversation. It's flowing because when you're with people that it flows, it's easy. Yes. Maybe you're with people and they really don't get you. Don't try for them to get you. Understand that they're not on the same wavelength as you, and it's okay. But if you're drained after hanging out with these people, stop hanging out with these people.
That's what I want to say. The secret of stopping from being a people pleaser is the word no. Learning how to say no for events you don't like to be there, so people you don't like to be there, a situation learning how to say no, it's very, 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 very important, because going against your feeling, that's the worst thing you're doing to yourself.
And also spending time alone.
Yes.
Because if you don't like your own company,
nobody's gonna like you.
No one else is gonna like your company. So if you don't like hanging out with yourself, why should somebody else be forced to hang out with you?
I'm telling you, for me, waking up at 4 a.m. is like non-negotiable, because this time that I have no one around me, just me with me, is my filling of the cup.
I love hanging out with myself.
Yes, me too.
I love just spending time with myself.
I'm also the butterfly, social butterfly. Of course,
me too.
I love people and I love,
Me too. But I love learning, spending time with myself. I just enjoy it, because sometimes you like the quiet.
Especially when you have young kids.
Especially when you're a parent and you have kids around all the time and your work has a heavy component to it. So, you want to be able to have that time to just, okay, what's fun for me? What do I enjoy doing? What do I want to do? Maybe I just want to hang out in my room quietly.
Doing nothing.
Before, I would have pushed myself to do this and achieve and laundry and whatever. But it's okay. Maybe today I don't feel like it. It's okay.
Of course, it's okay.
So yeah, I hope this helped somebody today. But I had fun talking to you about this topic.
It's really my pleasure that
I'm so glad that we did this, and we should do this more and talk more about topics that, I mean, this is our journey. We just wanted to share it with you, but maybe we want to talk more about how this stuff, and maybe be more intentional, maybe talk about bullying, talk about what else, body shaming, lots of topics.
I really would like to go back to the percentage that I gave at the beginning. Maybe
go ahead.
Like focusing about the 80% of your emotion, your wiring as a child, the tools that you can develop every day, like dancing, doing stuff that's fun. Those gonna be the secret for whatever you want to achieve. And then you can do the 10-10 of the eating and drinking. But focus on knowing yourself, on loving yourself, on understanding how you are enough, how you are worthy today, right now, right here. So those, for me, really, it's a big journey, and it's an endless journey. It's not that if you're saying today, we look in the mirror, we say, I love you. Yeah, some days I'm going to look and say, oh, I don't love you.
No, today
it's a daily,
I'm not
it's a
gonna
daily
fake it.
work.
Let's just not, you know.
It's a daily work. It's not like it comes, oh, I'm the self-confident and gonna walk in the street.
No.
No,
It's that,
some days,
like I say all the time, and with intuition, it's a muscle you have to, what's
train.
it called? Train. So it's the same thing. Self-love is a muscle. There's some days you're gonna say all these terrible things to yourself, and then you catch yourself and you go, no, is this true about myself? And then maybe changing the wording, just that, those little tweaks of changing the old pattern of what you would say to yourself. Just switch it. It's the small daily habits, and do it this time. I don't know, but I think this time, do it for you. I think
I want to say something. It just came up to my mind. I don't know. People might judge me, but
Go
if my
ahead.
kids would say fuck, maybe it would be now fuck, I wouldn't mind it. But if she would say to herself, I'm not beautiful, I'm dumb, I'm gonna make a huge problem of it.
Yes,
For
me
me,
too.
those bullying herself is more important than swearing. So also,
And also
for us,
sometimes, yeah, go ahead.
for us and for our kids, we have to be aware of stop the bullying. Like you're bullying yourself.
And sometimes without realizing it, because of how we were programmed, we say things to our kids. I mean, I catch myself sometimes saying something to my daughter or my son, and then I'm like, shoot. And then I go back and I say, you know what? That's my old programming. I'm so sorry to have said that to you about whatever your look, your whatever. I am trying to say this, especially like sometimes with the clothes, whatever it is. We're trying to be the best we can without making them feel
Yes.
like they're inferior.
And when we break the cycle of the ancestry, we're breaking the next generation.
Next generation.
Yeah. For my kids, like yesterday, my daughter went shopping in the mall with a princess dress. I don't mind. It's not Halloween. I don't mind. Be yourself. Yes, and the day before she had drawn with black pen. She wanted to be a character. I don't know who, like writing all black. Be yourself. I don't give a shit. I'm never gonna choose for her clothes. Since the age they're able to put their clothes, put mix match. Be yourself.
Exactly.
Just that's how they're gonna experiment and like whatever they wanna see in the mirror. But if I'm
because
gonna
telling a
my
kid that they
vision of-
have to be what we want them to be and the look that works for us, trust me, I've had to overcome this all my life.
Yeah.
So there's no way I will ever do that to my kid, to tell them they have to dress a way that doesn't fit anything to do with what their personality is. Of course, if there's something that's really out there and you can just guide them, okay, but nothing that stops them from being themselves.
Absolutely.
Because we're suppressing that in them, and they end up doing so many things that do not work for them, you know, in their life. So I don't know, so much to talk about, but maybe we should end it here and we'll do this another time. Julia, thank you.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you, Monica. I really love our talk.
Me too. I mean, this is what we do in our private time, so I thought we wanted to share it with you guys, as if you're sitting in our living room listening to this topic. So take care, everybody. Till next time. Bye. Bye. Bye.